Good afternoon, namaste. So we are doing our Sunday session of Prayas Lodge. Today's speaker is Sister Sandhya Rani, who would be taking a session on JK's unimaginable energy. So before we start, let us do our universal invocation, and then I'll introduce the speaker. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know is also one with every other. Come back. So we all know the speaker of the day. I don't think we should be introducing her with many things to say because there's a lot of things to say about her. So I'll just briefly introduce herself. Sister Sandhya Rani has retired as a DGM from HUDCO, and as a professional, she has been doing a lot of work. Along with that, she has done a wonderful work to spread theosophy. She has conducted study classes at various places like Bhwali, Noida, Kerala, Odisha, and many places in Karnataka. She also assisted Radhaji for some time and served thrice as the enquiry officer during International Convention at Adyar. That's a good thing about her. She's a wonderful coordinator, a great speaker, a great organizer. Along with that, she has assisted in translating 20 books also from English to Kannada. And she has been a member of the TS since 1991. And she's a member of the City Lodge, Bangalore, Karnataka. And she's currently conducting a lot of workshops and seminars, webinars. So we are privileged, we are really grateful to her to have joined us as a speaker of the day. And she's going to talk about J. Krishnamurti, a wonderful topic about a great theosophist, a great teacher. And she's going to talk about the kind of energy JK had, the unimaginable energy. That's what the topic is. Thank you, Sandhya ji. You may proceed.
Thank you very much for introducing me in such a wonderful, nice way. Thank you once again and for giving me this opportunity also. Good afternoon, everybody. And today is the centenary celebration of Bharat Samaj Puja, which JK had done 100 years before. And today's subject is Jiddu Krishnamurti's unimaginable energy. All of us knows that Jiddu Krishnamurti was born on 11th May 1895 and he lived about for 91 years and he expired on 17th February 1986. I think few of us have seen Jiddu Krishnamurti also, those who are born before 1986. And Jiddu Krishnamurti was born in a Brahmin family at Madanapalli, Andhra Pradesh in India. C.W. Leadbeater saw him and recognized him for the first time in 1909 and he told Annie Besant about that he has found one unselfish, beautiful soul who can be trained to become the world teacher. And C.W. Leadbeater used to take Jiddu Krishnamurti in his astral body to Mahatma Kutumi. And then Mahatma Kutumi used to teach him in his astral body, and morning, whatever he used to remember, he used to write it down. And for the first time, he was introduced to the world through a book written by him that is known as At the Feet of the Master. And that is the first book or first teaching which all of us have received from Jiddu Krishnamurti. Annie Besant adopted Jiddu Krishnamurti as her son, and he was protected by two initiates. And C.W. Leadbeater writes in one place, "It is true that Lord Maitreya solemnly gave him in our charge on behalf of brotherhood." That is, White Lodge of Brotherhood or Shvetarshi Sangha. If we say something about Jiddu Krishnamurti, who is he means, he is a great philosopher, a writer, a lecturer, and also he used to have dialogues with one-to-one, and he has written few books also. More than anything, we know him as a world teacher. Through him, all the teachings came. He is a very good philosopher of our century. From 1909 till 1986, what Jiddu Krishnamurti did, that is what we think, na? For about 91 years he lived, and what was his work or his duty to, which was due to humanity, to this world, is only one thing, that is teaching. Right from Rama, who gave the teaching to Rama means Valmiki, Vasishta, that is Rama's guru. Vasishta gave the teaching to Rama. Till JK, we know only the teaching that is known as Bodhe. And to Arjuna, Krishna gave the teaching. To Jiddu Krishnamurti, Mahatma Kutumi gave the teaching. In turn, after everything, Mahatma Maitreya used his body or occupied his body. Through him, whatever the teaching Maitreya was supposed to give it to all of us, he gave. And Jiddu Krishnamurti was a nature lover also. In Theosophy, we believe initiations. J.K. got his first initiation on 11th January 1910. That is some 115 years before. Regarding this, Jiddu Krishnamurti himself mentions to Annie Besant in this way. Majority of the things, whatever today I am going to speak, I have taken everything from this book. Jiddu Krishnamurti, A Life, written by Mary Lutins. In this, his autobiography has been given, and majority of the things, whatever he did, has been mentioned in this. It contains 3 volumes. The Years of Awakening, The Years of Fulfillment, and The Open Door. Everything is available in internet also. Those who are really interested and those who wants to know Jiddu Krishnamurti more in detail about his life history means one can go through this book. On his first initiation, he writes to Annie Besant, he says, I quote, "It was very beautiful when we went to our master's house. We found him and Master Maurya and Master Jwalkol all standing, talking, and they spoke very kindly. We all prostrated ourselves, and the master drew me to his knee and asked me whether I would forget myself entirely and never have a selfish thought. I would forget myself entirely and never have a selfish thought, but think only to be like him some day. Then he kissed me and passed his hand over me, and I seemed to be somehow part of him. And I felt quite different and very, very happy, and I have had that feeling ever since. Then all the 3 blessed me, and we came away. Then he had the second initiation on 1st May 1912, and third initiation, that process went on for 4 days, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th of August 1922. On 19th August 1922, he says, he had the first most extraordinary experience in which he felt at home with his surroundings. That is nothing but atonement. The following day, the symptoms and the experience intensified, and he had an out-of-body experience. First time you will have that out-of-body experience, feeling the vibrations of Lord Buddha, experiencing peace and a profound calmness. Krishnamurti also wrote that he had touched compassion, because compassion is the law of laws. Krishnamurti says he touched which heals all sorrow and suffering. It is not for myself, but for the world. Then you will have his fourth initiation on 7th August 1925, and finally you will become an completely initiate or fifth initiate on 14th August 1925. Then what is that used Jiddu Krishnamurti, that energy, and what happened? If we read Krishnamurti's notebook, in so many places, bits and pieces, whatever he was going through, it has been mentioned in Krishnamurti's notebook. The process was going on since his first initiation, that is 1911. But from 28 December 1925, in the opening convention of the Order of the Star in the East at Adyar in the morning around 8 o'clock, his voice changed, his face, that is JK's face, also changed and started talking in first person. Lord Maitreya started using Jiddu Krishnamurti's body. Jiddu Krishnamurti writes to his friend. He described the change in him, and then he says, I wish I could see it too. Only the others could feel it, but not Jiddu Krishnamurti himself. On 8th February 1924, JK starts feeling unseen presence in himself. Always he could feel some other presence is there. Then first manifestation, when that master started using Jiddu Krishnamurti, is, as I just now mentioned, 28th December 1925, when the Star Congress followed the next day, that is December 28th, that is known as a sacred day since 1911. And at the first meeting under the banyan tree at 8 o'clock in the morning at Adyar, with the amplifiers turned off, a dramatic change took place while Krishnamurti was speaking, not Krishnamurti K. It came at the end of his talk. He had been speaking about the world teacher during the time where whatever the Annie Besant talk or Leadbeater talk, always they used to say coming of the world teacher, coming of the world teacher. That's all. That was the main topic. All used to talk about the coming of the world teacher. There he mentions, he comes only to those who want, who desire, who long. And then his voice changed completely and rang out. And I come for those who want sympathy, who want happiness, who are longing to be released, who are longing to find happiness in all things. I come to reform and not to tear down. I come not to destroy but to build. I come not to destroy but to build. On 14th January 1927, at America, Annie Besant issues one statement. That's a major statement. She mentions the world teacher is here. The world teacher is here to Associated Press of America. Jiddu Krishnamurti says an immense energy and intelligence went through his body, a consciousness which is called the otherness. The otherness, not my or mine. He used to mention it as the otherness. These experiences were accompanied or followed by what was interchangeably described as the benediction, the immensity, the sacredness, the vastness, and most often the otherness. Most often the otherness or the other. It was a state related to but distinct from the process. According to Mary Lutings, it is evident from his notebook that this experience of otherness was with him always continuously during his life. Always continuously it was there. At time latent, at time it was completely expressed. And gave him a sense of being protected. Always he says that I have been protected. That too protected by two initiates. Krishnamurti describes it in his notebook as typically following an acute experience of the process. For example, on awakening on the next day, he himself writes, I woke up early with that strong feeling of otherness. of another world that is beyond all thought. There is a heightening of sensitivity. Sensitivity not only to beauty but also to all other things. That sensitivity is very, very important. Sensitivity not only to the beauty but also to all other things. The blade of grass was astonishingly green, that one blade of grass contained the whole spectrum of color. It was intense, dazzling, and such a small thing, so easy to destroy. This experience of otherness was present with him in daily events also. It is strange how during one or two interviews that strength, that power filled the room. So many people, even others who were sitting in front of him, also could feel there is something completely filled that entire room. Okay, that power filled the room. It seemed to be in one's eyes the breath. It comes into being suddenly and most unexpectedly. If you expect it will not happen, most unexpectedly it used to come with a force and intensity that is quite overpowering, and at other times it is there, or otherwise also it is there, quietly and serenely. It is very, very quiet, and serenity was also there. But it is there, whether one wants it or not. It is there means it is there, that's it. There is no possibility of getting used to it, for it has never been, nor it will ever be. Then once Ram Landau, he says to JK, he will ask, how did you come to that state of unity with everything? JK could get himself united with each and everything, with each and every atom. So he will ask. For that, Krishnamurti answers. People have asked me about that before also, and I always feel that they expect to hear the dramatic account of some sudden miracle through which I suddenly become one with the universe. So by then, so many people had inquired about it also. Of course, nothing of the sort happened. My inner awareness was always there, though it took me time to feel it more and more clearly. The clarity only was bit low. Okay, it took some time. And equally, it took time to find words that would at all describe it. Then again, he mentions it was not a sudden flash, but a slow yet constant clarification of something that was always there. It was not a sudden flash, but a slow yet constant clarification of something that was always there. It did not grow, as people often think. Nothing can grow in us that is of spiritual importance. It has to be there in all its fullness. And then the only thing that happens is that we become more and more aware of it. It is our intellectual reaction. It is our intellectual reaction, and nothing else that needs time to become more articulate, more definite. Then again, on 3rd August 1929, Krishnamurti quits that order of the star in the east, and whomsoever had donated the land, the money, whatever it was there in its name, everything he gave away, everything he gave back, nothing he held with himself. So that day he gave one beautiful lecture. To be frank, I like that lecture very much. Same thing I have taken down and I'll read it. On 3rd August 1929, he says, I maintain that truth is a pathless land. This is the first time he gave that statement. Truth is a pathless land, and you cannot approach it by any path whatsoever, by any religion, by any sect. That is my point of view, and I adhere to that absolutely and unconditionally. Truth being limitless, unconditioned, unapproachable by any path whatsoever, cannot be organized. Nor should any organization be formed to lead or coerce people along a particular path. This is no magnificent deed because I do not want followers. He never claimed himself as a guru also. And I mean this. He means whatever he says, he means. The moment you follow someone, you cease to follow truth. I am not concerned whether you pay attention to what I say or not. I want to do a certain thing in the world and I am going to do it with unwavering concentration. Whatever he wanted to do, he will do it with unwavering concentration. I am concerning myself with only one essential thing, to set man free. His concern was one and only one thing, that is to set man free, because all of us are really scared that fear is ruling us. We don't have freedom. Neither we have self-knowledge nor we have got freedom. That's why his main intention, the main aim, the teaching, if we really follow what is going to happen to all of us means we will become free. I desire to free him from all cages, from all fears, and not to found religions, new sects, not to establish new theories and new philosophies. Whatever was there, he wanted to throw away everything. He wanted to free all of us. He never wanted anyone to have any new religion or new sect or to establish new theories or new philosophy. Whatever was there, we have to just accept and be in what is and to see the truth. So JK calls himself as a speaker and he never mentioned as Jiddu Krishnamurti or Krishnamurti. He always mentioned as K. The speaker is not a guru and he is not having any follower. Why? Means the disciples destroys the guru and the guru equally destroys his disciples. So he never claimed himself as a guru or a disciple. Then Mary Lutins once asks Jiddu Krishnamurti, the teachings are not simple. When we listen to it, we think that yes, we have understood, but actually it is not simple. How did they come out of that vacant boy? Because when he started giving talks or when he had this first initiation, he used to talk. So he was still a young boy of 14 or 15-year-old. So how it came to him? So Jiddu Krishnamurti replies for that. You admit a mystery. The boy was affectionate, vacant, not intellectual. He enjoyed athletic games. He found very difficult to pass even one. He was not even a graduate. With great difficulty, he had to go to school. He used to go. That's all. Nothing else. But he was interested in athletic games and all. What is important in this is a vacant mind. Only when talking and writing does come into play. The otherness used to come when he was writing or when he used to talk. Then again Mary Lutins asks him, what is that we are trying to find out? Then Krishnamurti says, right through life it has been guarded, protected. When I get into an aeroplane, I know nothing will happen. So many people, they are scared to travel in aeroplane. In case if they have any experience in aeroplanes, the way it flies or the way how it lands, during that time they'll get scared because the balance will not be there. So he says very, very clearly, when I get into an aeroplane, I know nothing will happen because always that protection feeling was there in him. In his meeting with Nehru, that is Jawaharlal Nehru in 1947. Krishnamurti elaborated at length on the teaching, saying in one instance when he was having conversation with Jawaharlal Nehru, understanding of the self only arises in relationship. That's why, as per Krishnamurti, what is life means, life itself is a relationship. So each one of us are supposed to relate with each and everything, with each and every person. Life is relationship. Then he says, in watching yourself in relationship to people, ideas and things, to trees, to earth, and the world around you and within you. Relationship is the mirror in which oneself is revealed. Without self-knowledge, there is no basis for right thought and action. Nehru asks Jiddu Krishnamurti, how does one start? How to start? Then Krishnamurti replies, begin where you are. That is right now, wherever we are in evolution, in whichever the ladder, whichever the step of the ladder we are, we have to start from wherever we are. Read every word, every phrase, every paragraph of the mind as it operates through thought. Again on thought, Krishnamurti says, knowledge is never complete, so thought is never complete. Thought has caused disorder and cannot possibly bring about order. Disorder cannot bring order. Meditation is ending of knowledge. Our consciousness is the storehouse of knowledge. Meditation is the way we live. Meditation is part of our daily life. Meditation is part of our daily life. That is the time when Krishnamurti said choiceless awareness. The same teaching, that is, even Buddha spoke about apramada, being. This is what H.P. Blavatsky said. Same thing, choiceless awareness, Jiddu Krishnamurti is telling. Again, Jiddu Krishnamurti says, if there is fear, your meditation is utterly meaningless. When we sit for meditation, the fear should not rule us. A free mind is essential for inquiry. And when there is fear, there is no freedom. Fear doesn't contain freedom. One has to live psychologically alone. One has to live a life psychologically alone without depending on anything or anyone. As long as possible, one has to be dependent on oneself. This is what Master Maurya has also told, to stand on their own foot. Leaving in complete attention to observe and let go of the contents of consciousness, because it keeps coming and going. Then someone asked to summarize Jiddu Krishnamurti's teachings in one sentence. Then Krishnamurti answered, attempt without effort to live with death in futureless silence, elaborating that death is the end of all you are afraid to lose. Your attachments, your memory, your disappeared friends, your prestige, all that is the content of your consciousness. You cannot get rid of it right now. In one sentence, Jiddu Krishnamurti's teaching is attempt without effort to live with death in futureless silence. Every second one has to die. This is what Jiddu Krishnamurti has given the teaching. Then straight away he has mentioned about his unimaginable energy in his own words in one chapter in the open door, that is in the 3rd volume of this book. Same thing I'll quote. Before beginning asanas, Jiddu Krishnamurti used to do yogasana every day to keep his body fit, because Mahatma Maurya was using his body, and the body, whatever is there, the body should be fit enough even to sit. So before he begins to asanas, JK he generally sits very quietly, thinking about nothing. So you people might have observed in his lecture, whatever it is in videos, used to come and sit quietly and used to see, his eyes used to see each and everybody, used to glance like Radhaji, how she used to do in the same way. But this morning a strange thing took place, most unexpected and in no way invited. And besides, you cannot invite these things. Suddenly it appeared as though in the very center of the brain, the head, right inside, there was a vacant space in which was unimaginable energy. I quote again. Suddenly it appeared as though in a very center of the brain, the head, right inside, there was a vacant space in which was unimaginable energy. It is there, but nothing. Whatever is registered for that which is registered is a waste of energy. If one can so call it, it was pure energy in limitless state. It's a pure energy in a limitless state, a space that had nothing but this sense of immensity. That space did not contain anything but a sense of immensity. One does not know how long it lasted, but all during the morning it was there, and as this is being written, it is as though it was taking root and becoming firm. These words are not really the thing itself. And again, he writes in 1972, he had tried to express what was that energy might have felt like physically. One should observe, no? Only in physical form we can observe that. I woke at 3, that is 3 a.m., early in the morning, with a sense of extraordinary fire, light burning in the mind. There was no observer. The testing was from the outside, but the observer did not exist. There was only that and nothing else. The power penetrated the whole being. I sat up and it lasted 3 hours. I quote again. He tried to express what was that energy might have felt like physically. I woke up at 3 a.m. with a sense of extraordinary fire, light burning in the mind. Light burning in the mind. There was no observer to observe. The testing was from the outside, but the observer did not exist. There was only that and nothing else. The power penetrated the whole being. I sat up and it lasted for 3 hours. This same teaching is there in Light and the Path also. You can touch the flame, but again you cannot touch you can reach the flame, but you cannot touch the flame. Same teaching, same thing Jiddu Krishnamurti has also written. Then quoting Krishnamurti from the tape recorder made on 7th February 1986 regarding that same energy, unimaginable energy, what Maitreya used his body and what was that, or the observer or the otherness regarding that, the tape recorder record itself is there. On 7th February, he expired on 17th February 1986. 7th, he was fully consciously, he was aware. So someone asked what was that energy which was using you and what is going to happen at the end and all those things. So regarding that he speaks. In the morning, K answered a question from Mary Cadogan. When Krishnaji dies, because he was very, very ill, when Krishnaji dies, what really happened with this extraordinary focus of understanding and energy, that is K. K is the other. So Krishnamurti answers, it is gone. It is gone. If someone goes wholly into the teachings, perhaps they might touch that, but one cannot try to touch it. Then, after a moment, he added, if you all knew what you have missed, that vast emptiness. Always we are filled with knowledge, with this, with that, worldly things, everything. But how that energy that was in the middle of the center of our brain, where is it? If he goes, what will happen? Where does it go? Then he replies, it is gone. If someone goes wholly into the teaching, that's why he says, leave the teaching. Then again, if anyone can follow, then Krishnamurti says, if Amma would have tried, Amma is Annie Besant. Only Annie Besant could follow his teaching, not others. Same thing is applicable to all of us also. So again, Krishnamurti, if goes, it is gone. If someone goes wholly into the teaching, perhaps they might touch it, but one cannot try to touch it. By trying, that is with conscious mind, it is not possible. Then after a moment he added, if you all knew what you have missed, that vast emptiness. Again, later that morning, a further response was also recorded. What that means is, I was telling them this morning for 70 years, 70 long years, actually it is 77 years if we consider it from 1909, that super energy, no, that immense energy, immense intelligence was being has been using this body. That immense energy, that immense intelligence has been using this body. I don't think people realize what tremendous energy and intelligence went through this body. There was 12 cylinder energy, and for 70 years was a pretty long time, and now the body cannot stand anymore. Nobody, unless the body has been prepared very carefully, protected, and so on. Nobody can understand what went through this body. Nobody, don't anybody pretend. Nobody, I repeat this, nobody amongst us or the public know what went on. I know they don't. I know they don't. And now, after 70 years, it has come to an end. After 70 years, it has come to an end. Not that intelligence and energy, it is somewhat here every day and especially at night. And after 70 years, the body cannot stand it, cannot stand any more. It cannot. The Indians have a lot of damned superstition about this, that you will and the body goes, and all that kind of nonsense. You won't find another body like this or that supreme intelligence operating in a body for many hundred years. You won't see it again. When he goes, it goes. When he goes, it goes. There is no consciousness left behind of that consciousness, of that state. They will all pretend or try to imagine they can get into touch with that. Perhaps they will somewhat if they leave the teaching, but nobody has done it. Nobody. And so that is that. Thank you. If anyone has got any questions regarding whatever this 35 minutes, whatever I read out, they can ask. Whatever I know, whatever I have read about Krishnaji, if I am in a position to answer, I'll answer. Please, anyone. You have to unmute. Sulalina ji, you have to unmute.
Am I audible now? Okay. I think there is some problem in my machine. That's why laptop is not able to do it. And there is some echo also happening. If okay, that's why I'm avoiding to talk. There is some echo happening. Is it clear now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. First of all, Sandhya ji, this is a wonderful book you have read, and this is the first time we heard an in-depth JK, and definitely, like we all have experienced his energy through his talks, his videos, some of the films we watched about him and his talks. But this is definitely something great you have shared with us. Couple of things that really caught our attention, and like me, others would have, got some message out of it. Like I something that really touched me is when there is this statement. one thing you have missed is the silence, or the other word you use, no, for silence. So many a times we get into things, and we don't realize that we have missed that silence. That clicked me first thing. And probably masters watch over us, and they know whose body will be used for what. So we don't know when we are ready for something great to deliver, something somewhere we will be useful. But a person who's constantly watching, a person who's constantly seeing us, seeing our words, actions, thoughts, is definitely watching when and how we are going to be ready. Because we don't know, probably we should be have, kind of stay ready. That's what I could say, with a clean body, a clean mind, um, a clean and ready heart and mind and body. I think I would just say that. It was wonderful listening to you. You can unmute and say, please. Speak. Not on, I guess. Can you unmute? Kritika, can you unmute Sandhya ji? I mean, I think something is not.
Silence. This is what I read. Futureless silence. Is there any question?
Since we don't see many questions being asked, we can conclude. Thank you so much. End with the prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
See you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.